Hi, I am Simone and welcome to this tutorial for the free download SDK of Electrobit's Corbos Linux for Safety Applications. Today I want to walk you through the SDK concept and the SDK installation. So first, let's take a look at the three ingredients we need in our SDK. First, the Workspace. This Visual Code Workspace template for EB Corbos Linux already sets you up for a quick start in the development. It functions together with the development container and tools. It is enough to simply go to our github.com/electrobit/ebcl template to take a look at the sources. Second, the dev container. This container provides all the needed tools for building EB Corbos Linux images, packaging and developing of applications for EB Corbos Linux. The dev container is already referenced in the Workspace, but you can take a look at it also in our GitHub organization. The tools are in the third ingredients. Those are the small helper tools that are included in the development container for building, for example, your kernel, your initRD or your image. As they are already included in the development container, you normally don't need to take a look at it, but as they are open source, you're of course free to study them if you so wish. Now, let's take a look at the steps needed to install our SDK. First, you will need to install Docker. For that, after you updated your sources, you can simply use sudo apt install docker.io. I would further recommend to set up Docker to run without sudo privileges to ensure a smooth development experience with executing the commands to adding the Docker group, to add your own user, and finally ensure that the changes are taken into effect, for example by rebooting. As the SDK is based on VS Code, you would also need to install VS Code if so not done already. You can use, for example, the snap. Furthermore, the development container extensions for VS Code will be needed, so open VS Code and install it, please. To ensure the cross-compilation and cross-building is done as smoothly and fast as possible, we further use QEMU user static and bin format support, so please ensure that your host has installed it. Then you can clone the workspace that I've mentioned before. After the workspace is cloned, simply open the EBCL SDK code workspace in the development container and wait for the installation. The installation should take roughly 5 minutes. Afterwards, you should be greeted by the following VS Code window and the good to go.